Today at saferwholesale.com, what we're going to do is show you how to assemble the 6B Sport Kids ATV. It's we call it a 50cc. It actually has a 58cc 4-stroke motor on it. It's going to come in the box like this on top of a wooden little crate. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take it out of there, and then basically you're always going to want to put it on a milk crate. Makes the job a lot easier to put the front tires on and the rear tires. So first things first, before we get started, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you really quick, when you first start the ATV, always make sure you get it started, you run it for about 30 minutes, you ride it for about 30 minutes, and then you want to change the oil. Change the oil with 10W30, very, very important. Next, we're going to talk about the tools that are going to be needed to go ahead and put this together. So 10mm wrench, 12mm wrench, 17mm wrench, 3/16 Allen key, 10mm socket, 12mm socket, and a 24mm socket. So the first thing we're going to want to do here is get our battery all set up. So what this is here, this is the acid that goes into the actual battery, and you're going to have your thumbtack over here, and what you're going to do is simply poke holes in each one of the 6 cavities there. Let that go into the battery, and you're going to want to let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes. Very, very important before putting your cap on here. If you don't do that, it could possibly ruin the battery and shorten the life drastically. So always remember to put that acid in there, let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes before you go ahead and assemble the ATV. So as far as assembly goes, first thing you're going to want to do, as you can see, all the handlebars are intact. You're going to want to put on the handlebars, and there's 4 Allen key screws that you've got there, and then there's a nut, and the size of that nut
17mm.
is a 17mm, and you're going to screw it on under there like so on the left hand side and the right hand side of the ATV. Now sometimes it's a little bit hard to go ahead and get it screwed on there, but as you can see, there you have it. So you're just going to want to tighten that down with your socket, your wrench there, and get that nice and tight. You're going to go over both left and right. So next, from the handlebars, the secondary thing we're going to do is we're going to put on the front tires. So here, as you can see, you've got your front tire, the full assembly. You've got your disc brake on there. You've got your long bolt, and the size of this one is a 12mm. So you've got your 12mm bolt, and the nut is a 14mm nut. And then you're going to tighten that down. Now the biggest thing here is you want to make sure you do not over tighten it too much. If you do, you're going to have to back it off a bit, because otherwise sometimes if you tighten it too much, you won't be able to turn the front tire, and it'll be way too hard to operate. Next, you're going to want to put on the rear chain guard here, which it's very, very easy. You've got your 2 holes, as you can see there in the video, and then you've got your 2 Allen screws. One goes in the top, one goes in the bottom. That's your 3/16 Allen screw and a 10mm nut on the back. And then you would just snug and tighten that down like so. And while we're over here on the left-hand side, so what we're going to do with the battery is, here's your positive, here's your negative. This is where your battery goes. So you're going to go ahead and always make sure you connect those, and the screws, the nut, and the little bolts do come with the battery. So you would put that right there and then snug it down with the rubber band, as you can see there in the video. Next, we've got our Keyway here to put on the front tire, which is right there. And then you've got your tire, your rear tire, and make sure it lines up with the Keyway. Put it down there. sometimes get stuck. And then we've got our 24 millimeter nut. Take our impact wrench, and if you don't have, if you do not have the impact wrench, that's okay. You just take a little bit longer to assemble there. Next, we're gonna go ahead and assemble the rear mud flaps, mud guards here. And you've got your, once again, 3/16 Allen key. 10 millimeter nut. Tighten that down. Very simple, like so. And you're going to want to follow the same pattern on the other side of the ATV. Next, we're going to put on the little front bumper.
10 millimeter on the top.
10 millimeter on the top.
And a 12 millimeter on the bottom.
12 millimeter on the bottom. Follow the same pattern on both sides. And again, you always want to hand tighten everything just so you can get everything aligned properly without having any issue, or then you would just have to simply unscrew it. Again, impact. And there you have it. There's your front grille, so your front little bumper. So lastly, we've got the little front cone here. And that what, just clips on here?
Just slides and clips in.
Slides and clips on. And you might have to wrestle with it for a second to try and really get it in there. And while he's doing that, I'll just kind of talk to you really quick about the remote kill. Before you start the ATVs, you always want to make sure you hit the unlock button, which is right here, the black. Okay, so unlock is kill. So if the kids are riding and they're 50 feet, 100 feet, 100 yards, you hit the unlock button and that will turn the unit off. Always want to make sure you have your keys right here in the ignition over here, and then before you start, always make sure your ATV is on run. This is run, this is kill. This is run, this is kill. Always squeeze your left brake handle and your right brake handle, and then you're gonna push the start button to start it. You also have your horn right here, but that's just a few easy starting tips from saferwholesale.com. So that's basically full assembly. Obviously we didn't assemble the other side. You would just simply do that, take an extra 5 minutes there, and you got the ATV fully assembled and ready to go. If you have any questions, give us a call, 866-606-3991, saferwholesale.com. Again, the 6B 50cc 58cc ATV for sale from saferwholesale.com. And you can visit our support page, saferwholesale.com/support, for more videos on starting, how to use, maintain, and keep your motorsports in good condition. Thanks for watching.